another one.
So this one says demotivated and lost. Accepting tips on career improvement. Well, you've come to the right place. I've been a QA for the last 3 years in two different companies. And lately, I've been having a somewhat kind of imposter syndrome, feeling like I'm useless in my team and utterly demotivated. I blame it mostly on the work environment since people don't really care for my insights, tests, and bugs and wait on the client to complain to get something done. There have been cases where I complained about one specific bug for 2 weeks on our day lives. I don't know what that means. No one batted an eye on it until the client complained on it. They were really pissed about it and went on saying, "Oh, we didn't know about it. We'll fix it ASAP." That's when the demotivation started. I'm a newbie when it comes to programming. I know only the basics. I'm trying to learn automation, but I usually get stuck or bored since there's no room to actually apply it where I work. And I end up stopping the courses. On manual QA, all courses I've done on Udemy are kind of shallow and don't help me a lot. I wanted to get, oh, here we go again with this nonsense. I wanted to get CTFL certified, but it's so expensive for me right now. It costs like 20 to 30% of my salary that I cannot do it yet. So you must be like in a foreign country. Do you guys have any courses or books you'd recommend so I can get better at being a QA? Or also any tips on where to go next to improve my chances of getting a better job? So, so let's start the timer. Here is the problem. So, number one, so many people are in their feelings. Too many people are way into their feelings about, oh, my feelings are hurt and I have imposter syndrome and stuff like that. If, like for me at least, if I have clearly communicated what the problem is and, and I say, okay, this needs to be fixed and stuff like that, and, nothing happens and they wait until the customer complains about it, then they want to jump on it. Cool. Like, that is like, I'm not going to lose sleep over that. I'm not going to get demotivated because I'm like, hey, guess what? I was right. I told you what the problem was. You guys didn't fix it. All right, cool. Let's move on. So that's the number one thing. People are way too in their feelings about like, oh, no one likes me. I remember the question that we had a while ago about like, oh, my coworkers had a meeting without me, when it was like two friends who were talking to each other after a canceled meeting, and then you're like, oh, why wasn't I invited? Well, the reason that you were invited is because you were annoying, right? Anyways, going off. But for me, like, I've always created my own work environment. And whenever someone was getting to the, or someone or a group of people or whatever, we're getting to the point of being an impediment to the work I was doing, then I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna be like LeBron James and I'm gonna take my talents to South Beach. And I just keep it moving. By the way, I think Mitch's favorite basketball player of all time is LeBron James, but don't tell him I said that. Anyways, um, anyways, so we have to like stop getting in our feelings when it comes to our work. You know, you have to make sure that you're putting out the best work possible, and then let the chips fall where they may. Right? That's how I've always seen it. I don't. I'd be more bothered by me missing something and then the client catching it than me reporting it and then nothing is done about it. And then the client reports it and then they want to fix it. For me, as long as it's getting fixed, and if you guys want to make the company look bad, then that's on you. But I know that I'm clearly documenting all the work that I was supposed to do, and everything is there. It's my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted, and we go from there. So now here comes the real problem. Here comes the real problem. You're trying to learn automation, but you usually get stuck or bored. And when people say, "Oh, there's no room to apply it where I work," there is always room to apply automation, especially if you're in QA trying to learn automation and stuff like that. Because all you have to do is automate the manual stuff that you're testing. And here's the part that drives me crazy. I I would automate my work because that's gonna give me experience, and when I need to test something manually, I can just run my automated test, and I can see it working. So, there's always opportunity, like, what I'm trying to have people understand is you need to create your own opportunities, and now, after you've automated this, whatever work that you have to do, and now you're having your performance review and stuff like that, and you're talking like, "Oh, yeah, like, during my time, I worked the extra 2 hours so I can automate this, and this is what I did." Now you have talking points, and you show that you're showing initiative. So many things that you can do to show value, right? So that when your manager says, "What do you bring to the table?" You can be like Pluto and says, "I am the feature," right? I am the feature. But if we want to cry and if we want to say, "Oh, nobody likes me and they don't listen to me and I don't know what to do. I'm getting bored. There's no room to apply it." I'm like, there are so many different opportunities. Like I'll give you another example. Do you ever go to any website? Do you go to YouTube? Do you go to Reddit? Why don't you automate going to the subreddits that you normally frequent, right? You can say, "Okay, let me go and I'm gonna open these 3 browsers and I'm gonna go to like these 3 different subreddits." Or I'm going to my favorite YouTube channel. I'm gonna do, I don't know, whatever the thing may be. There's always something to automate. Like, why does it have to be only applied to the work that you do? And I think that is the problem. Like, we are not creative enough with our learning ability. And honestly, I think that's why I think that's why people end up not succeeding, is because it's like, oh, it has to be like for this one specific purpose, instead of learning the thing and then apply and then like finding the purpose around it. It's We shoot ourselves in the foot. We shoot ourselves in the foot. And then like talking about that the courses are shallow and don't help you. Well, you're not applying yourself, Smokey. You're not applying yourself. So tons of resources out there, but I think you already have the resource. Like, you already have the resources that you need. You're just not using them because if someone recommends you another course or another book, you're gonna get bored with it. And that's why especially when people say, "Oh, I already have these resources," but they're boring to me. I don't waste my time because like it is your job. Like, whether it's boring or not boring, it is up to you to learn the material, learn the content, and go from there. So um, use your Udemy courses and actually automate the work that you do on a day to day basis, and that's how you're going to learn. That's how I learned. I said, you know what, I'm doing this manual task, even to the point of like I don't like taking notes. Okay, let me get an AI bot to I'm gonna get AI to help me take notes. You have to make the most of what you got, right? You have Udemy, like you can't afford the C like, and what are you gonna do with the CTFL certified? Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. All right, let's wrap this one up.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.